In the second part of our picnic tutorial, we're going to look at some of the effects that you can apply easily using Picnik. We've already gone through the Basics tab, and so we're going to work our way across the top here. The next tab is Featured, and this changes basically every month, and it gives you some featured effects that you can apply quickly and easily to your picture. If you kind of want to see what that will do, if you just hover your cursor over the top of that, it will show you what that effect will do to your picture. Now you'll notice the first three here are premium effects, which means you have to have the premium account to be able to use them. All right, we can use this, and you can see by using these little basically clip art images, you can make a nice border on your picture. So if we open that up, you can see we all have all sorts of leaves and acorns and different things that we can apply. Once we get it added to our picture, we can go ahead and resize it. The center one will allow you to rotate it, so if you want it facing the other way. And then here, like we saw in the preview, we can actually, make a nice little border for our picture if we wanted to. So those are some stickers that you have the option of using. You also have a turkey dinner. So if you would like to add some food, those are the two premium or the two featured items that they have for you to use here in Picnik this month. There is also a seasonal tab, so you can actually get access to all sorts of different seasonal items on the seasonal tab. So we will go ahead and undo all of our little things here. And we're going to go on to the next tab. The next tab is the Effects tab, and this is where you're going to want to spend a lot of your time because there's a lot of neat effects that you can do that you can easily apply to your pictures. So we'll go ahead and click on Effects. A lot of times you take your pictures obviously in color, but maybe they would look better in black and white. So there's a basic effect that will change your picture into black and white. Now, a fun thing that you can do, and this is really popular to do with photos these days, is actually make part of your photo black and white, but make the focal point of your photo have that appear in color. And we can do that here in Picnik. So you'll see that we have a paintbrush. If we click on that paintbrush, we can actually apply the original, which was color, back to our photo. Now to do this, we're going to actually have Ruby be in color. So if I want to look at Ruby, I'm going to actually zoom in, and I'm going to use my navigation tool here. See how I can click and drag on this box to position to get Ruby right in the center of my screen, and I might want to zoom in just a little bit more. You're going to see how important it is to get in close when you're actually doing the painting. Here's how you can control it. See how big my brush is right now? This is how you can control the brush size, and you can see how that changes. So for a big area, for doing some of the painting, I maybe want to use a brush that's this size because that's going to get me done a little bit quicker. But in these areas where I'm really close to the edge, and I can probably go and paint this a little bit also, I probably want my brush to be a little bit smaller. So I'm going to come in here and make my brush smaller, and I'm also going to zoom in a little bit closer on Ruby's face and position my navigation box over here. So now I can get in here and get really close and do some fine detail. So I can really paint in exactly what I want to be in color. Now, sorry about that. If you make a mistake and you go out here in the grass, it's easy to fix. Click on the Effect tab, and now you're going to be painting in black and white. So you can easily erase your mistakes by simply doing that. So we'll go ahead and finish up coloring in Ruby here. And then when you're done, you'll want to zoom back out so that you can see what that effect looked like. Now, if I really wanted to do this right, I would go ahead and finish coloring in all of Ruby so that she would be in color and the rest would be in black and white. So you can go ahead and close that, and you could actually click Apply to apply those changes. We're going to go ahead and click Cancel so that I can show you some other things. Sepia Tone is another one that you can do. A vignette allows you to kind of soften the outside edges, and here you can decide the size of the vignette by doing these sliders. Some other kind of cool tools. all sorts of different things, and you just have to click on them to see what they will do. Down here in color, we can actually tint the whole picture a certain color, and then you'll notice that we have our friend the paintbrush here. So that means, yep, that we could actually paint back Ruby to the original color if we wanted the rest of the photo to be in pink. Another kind of cool tool to use is the focal black and white. And so instead of doing the actual painting, here you can actually decide what the focal point of the picture is. We're going to click and drag that so it's right on Ruby's nose. And then we can change the size. So do we want the focus to be big? So a lot in color? Or do we want the focus to just be on her face? And then we can reposition this so that just her face is in color. And we could go ahead and apply that if we wanted to. One of the things that your kids are probably going to like are some of these artistic textures down here. So if we wanted to make it into a pencil sketch, we could do that. We could do neon and change the colors. A fun one is to actually use the Goofify. And with Goofify, we're going to get in here and zoom in on Ruby's face again. With Goofify, we can actually make Ruby kind of look like a monster here. So Goofify will be fun for your kids to use. So there's some of the effects that you have the option to using. Remember, anything that's listed as premium is a premium effect, and you must pay for that to be able to, in order to use that effect. Go ahead and spend some time looking at some of the different effects. There's tons of great cool things that you can do in Picnik and their effects.